Morning, Dan. I think you're probably uploading a video right now. I'm down here at the river, clearly. You can see we have our own Frazzle rock ice. And I think we're definitely gonna have to cut something out. Let's go down there and see if I can actually step through it. That's interesting, a little fairy ring of ice right there. I'm sure it's not a fairy ring. Should have brought my shovel. Made it easier. My socks full of snow, which kind of sucks, but what do you do? Let's see. Let's see. It's minus 10 right now. Okay. Yeah, you can step through that. So it's actually, you know what it is? I just realized it's probably all that snow that's sitting on top of the ice is insulating and keeping, it from actually freezing. So it's just all this sort of semi-solid slushy stuff. But we have an eagle, so that's always good. I might be going in by myself. I don't see anybody else here. It's almost 10:30. We'll see. We'll see if anybody shows. Somebody's got to show, right? I mean, Joe's supposed to come. Joe, like from Mugby Joe, used to work for me. He went to Germany. That Joe. Oscar, I invited him. I haven't heard anything from him, but even if I do, that doesn't mean he's going to show. But Ann and Dave said they were going to come. So that's something. Sarah, I don't think is going to be here because she and Talon are going to go snowboarding. And let's see, who else? I don't know who else is going to be here. Nobody, I guess. Oh yeah, look at that eagle out there. Can you see it fishing? Cool. Okay, I'm gonna stop this until I go back down. Okay. As is readily apparent, it was quite windy out there, and you'll see it later on with my flapping shorts. But eventually others did show up. I forgot Lucas was gonna be there. Of course Lucas was there. And then Ann and Dave came down, and then Joe Nagel. So we decided that we were going to be able to break the ice by stepping through it, as I had thought. So I sent my emissary, Lucas, down first and watched him go at it. And, when those first couple of steps, it was fine. We were able to break through. But it quickly dawned on me that if it depended on Lucas standing on it and jumping up and down until he broke through, we were going to be out there forever. Also, it doesn't get deep quickly, here in the middle of the beach. Off over to the right, it does, but not there. So it's like, I think I should go get my saw. So that's where I go to get my saw. Because again, it was going to take us forever to do it with that method. And Dave did come down. Here's Dave. And he throws a piece and then two out. It's like, screw this, my hands are cold. So maybe he was just showing Lucas how it was done. Anyway, I come running down with the saw in my hands, thinking, if I fall, I'm going to fall on my own sword, which I guess, while poetic, would probably hurt a lot. Anyway, yeah, so I obviously came back with the Finnish ice saw. It's like, whoa, let's try not to fall down holding the Finnish ice saw. So anyway, I worked my way out, and I thought, well, first I'll just sort of stand in the water and then just saw it as I go. And it's like, well, that's not going to work. So anyway, you'll see that I got up on the ice. And like I said, so at this point, I don't know how long we'd been out there. 5 minutes? Now I'm cutting the ice. The wind is pretty whipping, but oddly, at first I felt cold, but there was something about sawing the ice. I was just so focused on cutting that hole. I just didn't really feel that cold. And what I found was after the fact, what I discovered when I was sitting in the car was that I actually wasn't that cold. I didn't shake at all. And I think what it was being out in the wind in that cold, because like I said, it was minus 10 C. All my blood vessels just constricted. And so that when I actually got in the water, I wasn't feeling it as acutely as I was had I been completely warm and then gotten in. So I think this is what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to denude, and then I'm going to cut the ice, because that's just, I don't know. It looks cooler, that's for sure. But yeah, the ice was thick enough that we were actually able to push it under. But I kept thinking, oh, I need more. I need a bigger hole, because, again, it just wasn't that deep. So this is where I told, I asked Anne if she had the camera facing the right way, which clearly she did, because she's a smarty. So Lucas is, he's up to his knees. I'm the one who's not really that cold, because, my feet were wet at that point, but fine otherwise. Yeah, just cutting along, having a good time. At this point, Ann and Dave are still fully clothed on the beach, and I think it's about here that they decide, you know what, we're not going in the water, screw this. But Joe was ready to go. And the saw is awesome, but it doesn't cut. It's, you still take some time, right? Especially when I'm wearing nothing but booties and I expect to be falling through at any point. I just hope that anybody driving over the bridge saw these two nearly naked guys standing on the ice and in the water, that we put on a good show. So anyway, yeah, you can see there, I was able to just push that ice down and send it underneath. Actually, at one point, when I get in the water, I'm sitting down facing the river, and with my feet extending under the ice, and I actually stuck my foot up and was pushing those big chunks of ice farther downstream so they wouldn't be in the way the next time I cut the ice, which will be, I don't know, Thursday, I guess, when I go. Anyway, yeah, I'm just, it's kind of having a good time cutting this ice, and, and like I said, once you get cutting it, you stop thinking about the fact that you might be cold. So, I get this last piece cut. There we go. Send that under. And now it's time to get in. So, God, I love that switchblade, saw. Okay, so now we actually start. So the funny thing is the timer's been running this whole time, right? We had it set for 7 minutes with a 1 minute warning. I noticed you don't have a warning on yours. You just go straight to red. Anyway, so we get in right after I do a little farmer below, and just before I sit down, I realized that the timer was now on red. So it's like, well, let's start the thing over again. So that's what, boop, right here is when, well, it's coming up soon. Starts timer again. Okay. So at this point, what's funny is that Dave is watching this timer. They were expecting that the timer was actually going to be that collar where you set the time was actually going to be spinning down to 0. So at some point in here, Dave sees that the collar's not spinning and he thinks it's not working, and he resets it again. And then 2 minutes after that, they say, oh, by the way, we didn't think it was working, so I reset it again. It's like, oh, man. Also, the thing is my phone dies here very soon. So I actually have no idea how long we were actually in. I know we were in about 2 3/4 minutes after they reset the timer the first time, and then of course he resets it again. So, but it wasn't bad. We're sitting there, and I'm actually downwind from Lucas, who was chewing this minty fresh gum. So I had this sort of minty fresh breeze in my face, which actually was quite pleasant. So yeah, I'm assuming that with this ice, it's only going to be getting thicker, of course, and we will actually have to go out in earnest and saw this out in the coming next week, because it's going to be getting cold like you have cold. So I'll really be able to go out and make a decent hole of it. Actually, I'll be able to go out farther without having to enter from shore, which will be really nice. So this is where Anne's like, I don't think that thing's working. Let's reset it again. Anyway, I haven't watched your video yet, but it's queued up right now. And I'm going to, when mine is uploading, I'm going to start watching yours. So yeah, it was, I thought it was really nice. It looks like we had this about the same kind of wind you did. But not unpleasant, I would say. Oh, there's Dave turning it on back on again. I'm glad he mentioned it. That'd have been hilarious. We've been in there for like 14 minutes. But I felt really good. Again, I kept my arms out. I didn't keep my arms into my chest. I kept them floating out. And I really feel like that makes a difference. So now I'm home. Actually, this is where I've been recording the voiceover anyway. Me and Milo chilling on the couch. But yeah, having my arms out, I think really is keeps me more relaxed, and I feel less cold afterwards. So as soon as I was done and warmed up enough, well, actually not warmed up enough, I got my dry clothes back on. I went to the money pit and shoveled snow because we've got so much snow. No, don't go away. Come back. We have so much snow that I had to shovel the driveway at the pit and the sidewalks. And actually, I left the driveway. I shoveled the sidewalks, the end of the driveway, which was buried, front and back porch. Then I left the driveway for Preston to do. So yeah, I'm home. I'm warm. There's your video queued up, ready to go. So I'm going to go watch that and then go take a shower. So that's my story. Woo! Sticking to it.